For this farmer, tobacco growing often presents an attractive alternative crop to food, as well as bringing in a higher income. These tobacco growers in Hoima cleared their land a long time ago for tobacco growing after they received practical as well as financial assistance from British American Tobacco, which in turn buys their tobacco. The farms are extensively covered with tobacco that will soon be harvested. It all starts in these nursery beds where the seeds are planted and they germinate under special care and attention.
It takes 2 months in the seed bed. Then you transplant it from the seed bed to the field. In another 2 months, you start harvesting. Harvesting will take close to 1 month. So it is a total of 5 months.
But the beds have to be close to a water source because the seedlings require a lot of water in order to grow productively.
So the process of spraying, there's a high chance that this pesticide would end up in community water sources, which is a problem to the environment.
The tobacco crop itself requires a high degree of maintenance, including pest and disease control, a regular water supply, and fertilizers to optimize output. The tobacco consists of two types but requires the same growing method. It is said to be resistant to pests while in the garden and does well under the Ugandan weather conditions, which allows for a limited use of pesticides.
We use one major pesticide called Confido. This is used at a very small rate. We need a total of 60 grams per acre for the entire season. And it is specific to organisms that feed on the tobacco crop.
But this additive in the environment, which British American Tobacco or BAT says is safe, is used continuously. And because of the routine growing, the soils naturally lose some of their natural nutrients. However, the farmers are supplied with fertilizers to boost tobacco's productivity, and there are seasonal breaks in the planting. And during this time, the farmers can plant other annual cereal crops like maize or sorghum in the gardens.
But as the tobacco is harvested, there is some residual fertilizer that remains in the field, and the crop that you put there next grows very, very vigorously. Actually, they have bumper harvests from the following crop.
During the seasons when they are probably not growing tobacco, they are also not supplying fertilizers. And the communities that grow tobacco cannot afford these fertilizers. So even if you put in other crops, there's no guarantee that they are going to thrive, considering that tobacco, which rarely absorbs these nutrients unsustainably, has been there.
Although some tobacco leaf is air or sun-dried, the majority of varieties grown require curing with generated heat, usually fueled by wood, coal, or gas. So, trees are cut to be used as wood fuel, which were planted by the farmers themselves and BAT in this continuous afforestation program. The trees preferred are eucalyptus.
The trees that they plant usually would be foreign to that land, and therefore will not serve the biodiversity process of that area. Probably it will be eucalyptus, pine, or different types for commercial purposes also.
So we go for eucalyptus because it is fast growing. Secondly, when you cut it, it copses and it comes back. Not many indigenous trees do that.
BAT, however, grows other trees that are indigenous in the community as part of the corporate social responsibility that can conserve the environment, and have introduced initiatives like a live burn of drying leaves where the sheds are tied to the trees that grow for a long time. As a mitigation measure, environment watchdog NEMA is now advising tobacco farmers to practice sustainable measures of tobacco growing, like planting their own trees for their woodstock years before growing the tobacco, and avoid riverbank encroachment. Craig Kadoda, NTV, EcoTalk.